we're trying this again. Saying we're trying this again, and you're not gonna see the vlog that I'm referring to as I'm trying this again because I gave up because I started to feel sick and I didn't want to film. I still am sick, but I have the motivation to film and actually start this YouTube channel. Hopefully I could lose motivation in like 2 days. We never know. I'm also sitting on a giant, like 2-foot large Snorlax right now. I'm not gonna show it to you because it's comfy and I don't want to take it out from underneath me. But we're doing that so you can see behind me and like my dirty laundry, but also my books that are mostly turned around because I haven't read them yet. And I will not be reading them in this vlog, except for the one that's missing. But hi, hello. That was too much rambling before I even said hello. How are you today? Are you having a good day? This is going to be posted at least a week after I'm saying this. I hope that when you're watching this, you're having a good day. But let's continue because we're talking about books. We're here for books. I'm planning on this mostly being probably a reading vlog. Mostly because I started a book last night at like 11:30 in the evening. So like basically today. And I am currently like 2/3 of the way through it. And like my Kindle app / my actual Kindle says I have like less than 3 hours. Like I have 2.5 hours left. I will be finishing this today. I'm low-key obsessed with it. I was hoping that I would have an actual physical book to hold up and show you because I got it. Like I put it on hold from the library once I started this because I wanted to just physically show it. Be like, this is what I'm reading. It didn't get to the library. I wanted to pick it up on time because it's at the other location. But like, that's fine. We're not mad at the library. We'll never be mad at the library. Do not be mad at your public library. But I'm reading Teach the Torches to Burn by Caleb Rohing. I might be mispronouncing his name and I apologize, but like this is the cover. This is what I have on my Kindle, but like I'm quite literally 64% of the way through. I'm on chapter 23. I've been flying through this book. I think I finished Act 1. That's like how it's divided. Act 1 before I even went to sleep last night. And then I finished Act 2 at work because it was super slow. But it's basically a Romeo and Juliet queer retelling. Obviously we're focusing on Romeo, and then it is like Mercutio's brother named Valentine is the love interest. And I'm loving this. I didn't even know this is what I needed, but this is what I needed to read right now. And oh my god, I'm in love with it. There are 2 paths this is going to take me on, and that will determine what this vlog is titled. Because I went to the library and got like 5 books, and I think I currently have like 2 or 3 I might be able to pick up tomorrow or Thursday, depending on when they get to the library for my holds, and I will be going to get them. And that will determine literally what this vlog ends up being, because you will see a pattern, and there's a pattern of like what I want to read, and it can go one of like 3 different ways. And we'll see after I finish this book and what I pick up next, what way it's going. And I do not know, because I am a massive mood reader, and every time I try to make a TBR, it fails horribly because I'm a massive mood reader. I am also barely into, like, maybe 15% into The Burning God by Arthur Kwong, which I'll also probably be reading in the background, and will act like it's not, like, it won't be in the title, we'll act like it's not part of this vlog, but I might give you updates. I probably really won't give you updates because this is the 3rd book in the Popular trilogy, which I've been really enjoying reading, and I feel weird saying enjoying since it's such a brutal and violent, like, series, but I've really been enjoying it and like reading it. I think it's so fascinating. I'm honestly in love with Rin. I love her. I did spoil how this book ends, so that's on me. I think I'm putting it off because I know I'm gonna stop. This is gonna break me emotionally so hard, and I'm not ready for it, but I'm also ready for it. I think I'm very much in the mood for emotional books right now, and that's what that's not. We will see if that mood continues. One of these books, the one I'm holding up right now, could continue that mood. The rest do probably have different vibes. Like, 2 are definitely probably lighter vibes. The others, darker, but like not emotional vibes. Like, I don't know. I don't want to show them off and then just be like, this is what I might read. And then like, I read none of these books. Like, I do not know what will happen because my mood could change tomorrow and I will look at all of these books and be like, no, and pick up a new book. Like, you never know, and I never know what will be read. So, me in like a week will know what this video will be called and what I read in this vlog. Me now, I do not know. I thought I was gonna be really awkward in front of the camera, and now I'm not, and I'm kind of just rambling, and I should just stop before I just keep going, and this clip is longer than it needs to be, and it's just me rambling on about my atrocious and random reading habits, and like how no one knows what I'm gonna read next. Like, you don't know, I don't know, God doesn't know either. God, I need to stop. I'm gonna stop. We're gonna stop now. Bye-bye. I was too lazy to tie my hair back. I don't know how I like it like this. I tie my hair back so often, like in the half a ponytail, because I don't like how my hair lies, but I also don't want my hair any longer. But I don't want it any shorter either. I don't know what to do with my hair at any point in time. But this has nothing to do with this vlog. This vlog is reading. Something just fell, and we're just gonna set it there. I have a couple things to update on, so I'm just gonna start with the new book we started, and then we'll go to the book I finished, and then other stuff. So, the mood that I thought was going to continue is the mood that continued, which is we're continuing Shakespeare retellings, specifically Romeo and Juliet. So I started One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. I'm not very far. I'm about 54 pages in, so I'm about a 13% into the book. I just turned this and showed the library. We're redoing this. We're just going to completely redo. Nope, we're not. We'll edit this part out and not show the library, but I'm there. I don't know how to show it to you without showing the, like, library I go to. Oh my god. But I'm about 13% into One for My Enemy. Oh my god. Let's not have the glare. So One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. My bookmark just fell. This is a mess. Oh my god. This clip is going to be something. This clip will be something fun for me to edit later. But there we go. We started One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake, which is more of a modern, fantastical retelling of Romeo and Juliet. It has, like, that spin to it, as opposed to the other one being the queer retelling. But I'm not, oh my god, is there a way for me to hold this where it's not gonna blind you and me? But I'm not too far into it yet, so I don't really have too much to say. But I'm happy I've read something by Olivia Blake before. You can actually see it behind me. It's right there. Not that way, it's right there, which is the Atlas 6. So I'm happy that I've read that before, so I know what I'm getting into with the way she writes. Because I will state her writing is a little pretentious, but for some reason it's working in this book. I don't know why, but I feel like the pretentious writing is going to work with a Romeo and Juliet, like, Shakespeare retelling. So I'll have more updates on that book when I get farther into it, but so far I am really enjoying it. It's gripped me a lot quicker than I thought it was going to, and I'm just excited to read more. Yeah, so yes, I did finish Teach the Torches to Burn last night. I can't believe I read a book in a day. I do not do that very often. I will not do that again this year, probably. That's not something I do very often, at all. I'm not the quickest of readers when I'm, like, sitting to read. Like, I don't read, like, I probably average 35 to 40 pages an hour, so I'm not a super fast reader. But I do enjoy reading. I do read a lot during the day, but I do rarely finish books in a day. And this book is, like, I think it's like 370-ish pages, like, so it's not super short, but it's not super long either. But yes, I did end up really enjoying this book. It's definitely more hopeful than the original play is. It does take on more of a hopeful spin as opposed to the cautionary spin the original book takes. And it does, it just has a more hopeful outlook on love, and kind of takes on the teaching and idea of you're perfect the way you are no matter who you love, and you deserve happiness. And yeah, it just has, like, a very happy outlook on love, and I think it does have a really nice lesson to it, and I think it is a really nice romance book. I did really enjoy it. I'm not giving it a rating just because I don't rate books. I don't know how to rate books, so I don't rate books, but I did really enjoy it. I would recommend it if it sounds interesting. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. Oh my god, I'm so awkward. I'm awkward today instead of as chatty as I was yesterday, mostly because I think of how bad this clip started. But yeah, so those are books updates. I decided, so two of the 3 holds that I have came in. The other one is for the this book because I wanted to see what it, like, I wanted it physically to hold up, but it didn't come. But the other 2 books are in, and I was going to wait till tomorrow to walk to the library and get them, but I'm realizing I'm very stir crazy and I need to get outside, and I haven't been outside in a while, and I just need to go outside. So we will be doing that walk today. But also, I wanted to update, I'm working on a crochet project right now. I'm not very far yet. This is all I have so far, but it's just going to be a scarf. So, like, I don't know, I have like a good, I'm probably nearing like a foot of it now. It's going to be like 8 feet long because that's about how long scarves are. But yeah, I don't know. I'll probably give more updates throughout the week as I work on it, but I wanted to make a bunch of scarves for like all of the like not men in my life, and so I'm working on one of my aunts right now, and then I still have 3 more scarves to make. I got 4 done before Christmas. So no. Yeah, I got 5 done before Christmas and gave those 5 people their scarves. Which were 3 of my friends, my stepmom, and my Nana, but I still have 4 more to make. I would have gotten them done quicker, but I kept messing up my wrist and irritating my wrist. That's more information than anyone needs. I'm just chatting now. I think that's all for this update because I have nothing else to say. So, bye-bye. See you in the next update. I don't know why I walked to the library knowing that it would involve walking over like a good couple inches of snow for about half, like a quarter mile, so like a fourth of the walk. So like that was fun. That was fun. But I decided to show you all the books that I have currently checked out from the library because it's a lot. I mostly want it for myself, so like if I don't get to these books, I know what's like pretty high on my TBR, so I know to get to it eventually. Like I know that it's something I want to read, and I don't forget about it. But obviously the one I'm currently reading that's from the library is one for my enemy, so we're starting there. And we're going to continue that trend because I saw this at the library and I'm like, I want to continue the Romeo and Juliet theme, and this looked like it was fun, and it's called Romeo and or Juliet. It's by Ryan North. It's like a choose your own adventure style of story. That sounded fun. I'll probably just read it one way, and then like whatever story I get reading it is the story I get from this. I already looked at it. I'm not going to immediately choose where I just spoil the ending. We're just going to choose whatever I get. And I probably won't like put this actually like into like Storygraph or anything. I'll just like count it on my personal thing as like I read it. Since I won't be like physically reading all of this, I'll just be doing whatever story I get out of it. Let's find the book that continues the Shakespeare kind of inspired books. That's Lady Macbeth by Ava Reid. This book came out last year. I haven't heard a lot about it, but I read Juniper and Thorn last year by Ava Reid, and I really enjoyed it, so I wanted to read more by her. So I got Lady Macbeth. Continuing the theme of I wanted to read more by Ava Reid, I got A Study in Drowning. I don't know if I'll get to this super soon, but I'm hoping this is a book like I see sitting there constantly, so I'm hoping that I can renew it. And like no one wants it, so I can just renew it. And then I got Most Ardently, which is like a Pride and Prejudice remix. It's by Gabe Cole Novola. I believe, if I remember correctly, this features a trans man. Yes, it does feature a trans man, and I thought that would be fun. I've not read Pride and Prejudice yet, but maybe this will inspire me to make Pride and Prejudice my first Jane Austen book. Because I've also not read anything by Austen yet. Let's go with this one. If I Can Give You That by Michael Gray Bulla. I just saw this and I thought it looked good. It also features a trans man. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say. It's like a contemporary YA romance. And then I also got 2 YA queer horror books, which is House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland and Wilder Girls by Rory Power. So, yeah, I thought these would be fun because I've liked the horror books I've read so far and I want to read more. Continuing queer horror that I got Our Wives Under the Sea. I've heard a lot of really good things about this, so I wanted to read this. And it's short. It looks pretty short too. So, yeah, I'm hoping I can get to this. These might be in a video together. Is all I'm gonna say. That might be next week's reading vlog. We'll see how this week goes. Let's continue with another, I think, kind of queerish horror book, which is Boy Parts by Eliza Clark. I've been wanting to read this book for a while. I hear it's weird and kind of gruesome, but I think it's something I could enjoy, and I want to give it a try. And I've been trying to hunt it down physically to buy it, and I've not been able to find it in bookstores. So, I'm getting it from the library. And then I also got Evocation by S.T. Gibson. I read An Education Analysis last year, and I enjoyed it. And so I'm going to read more by S.T. Gibson. I am, for some reason, purposely putting off A Diary of Blood, and I don't know why. And then I also got Mary Ventura and the Ninth Kingdom by Sylvia Plath. Real tiny book. Like, real tiny book with, like, some big font. Like, tiny book, big font. I can read this very quickly. And Sylvia Plath's another author that I want to read books from. And I think this is a nice tiny story to start with to see if I like her writing. And then if I like her writing, I'll probably then read The Bell Jar. And then I got a nonfiction book, which I do read, not very often, but I want to read more nonfiction in general. I think my goal is to try to get through one a month this year. We'll see if that happens. I'm not great with goals. But it's called 1,000 Words. It's a writer's guide to staying creative, focused, and productive all year round. I need this because I want to write a book this year, and I tend to have trouble staying motivated and like pushing through it and writing it. And I hope this helps a little bit. You'll probably be noticing a lot of the books I read this year are going to be on writing, because that is a goal for the year, is to actually draft a novel. And yeah, I hope that happens. That is a goal that I do hope that happens. Reading a nonfiction book a month is like, it's okay if it doesn't happen, but I'd really love to write a novel this year. Maybe that will pop up in vlogs when I start working on it. But for now, a lot of this channel is just going to be me reading books, because that's what I spend a lot of time doing. It is definitely my most prominent hobby in my life, and has been the most prominent hobby in my life since I was like 8. Whenever I first started The Lightning Thief, reading's been my primary hobby in life. So yeah, that's all for today. You're not gonna see me for the rest of the day. I'm surprised I did 2 updates today. Be proud of me, because the more I film and update this, the more likely you are to actually see this video and for this YouTube channel to actually become a thing. So yay! I'm working on it. So yeah, I take back any complaint I made yesterday about walking to the library like in the snow, because it would have been worse today, because it would have been the snow, and it's 20 degrees colder than it was yesterday. And it was not warm yesterday. It was like mid-20s when I walked to the library. It is currently like 5 degrees outside. Like, no, I'm not leaving this house today. I'm not dealing with that at all. But in terms of book updates, I'm now like halfway through One for My Enemy. I feel like no one's gonna believe me when I say I'm not a fast reader for how quickly I've been reading in this vlog. But like, I just hit the right mood, you know? It's just, this book is reading super, super quickly for me, and I'm just flying through it. It just is the right mood. I am still obviously really enjoying it. Otherwise, I wouldn't currently be halfway through it. I'm also currently really only in the mood to read, and so that's why I'm getting through it so quickly. I realized in the last clip I talked about this book, I didn't really give you a summary of what this book is, other than it's like a modern fantastical retelling of Romeo and Juliet, or like inspired by Romeo and Juliet. But basically you have these 2 families of witches. You have one family that has like this patriarch and like 3 sons, and then the other has its matriarch and 7 daughters. And basically you open this story with the oldest daughter of the one family confronting all 3 sons, but specifically the eldest of the 3, and basically like feeds him this like magical concoction that is like safe if he hasn't been cheating them or like lying to her family, and will kill him if he is. And yeah, he nearly dies. That's in like the first like 20 pages, so I feel like that's not a spoiler. I did not read the synopsis, so I don't know what the synopsis actually tells you this book is about. So I apologize for not reading what things are about and not knowing like what is said about books. So if you feel like that's a spoiler, please literally note that happens in the first 18 pages of the book. So I feel like you know all the information I just told you in the first 18 pages, so therefore that's not spoiling anything. But yeah, it just continues from there, and it's just been really interesting. I'm on the start of Act 4. So it's divided into like 5 acts, and then there's like little like interludes kind of between each act. And there's also a prologue. I think the prologue explains the shops they have to you. So the matriarch and her daughters run like this apothecary where they have like all these like, they're magical like skincare products basically, but like the people buying them don't know there's magic in them, because like while the magic exists, it's kind of like it's hidden, it's not known about to everyone. And then the patriarch and his 3 sons run like this vintage antique furniture store that like basically seems like it's always closed, and like only like you have to make an appointment to even go into the shop and look at the furniture, and it like talks about that in the prologue. But like most of that part isn't super important to the story, other than like you see a bit of the matriarch's like store, but like in terms of like the store with the patriarch and the 3 sons, you barely see it, because they have also obviously these illegal like illicit things that they're also doing too, that's really bringing in the income that they're making, more so than the shops they have. Like the shops are basically a front for the illegal stuff they're doing. But yeah, I am just enjoying the story a lot. I think I'm enjoying the story more than I enjoyed the Atlas 6, and I'm definitely enjoying her writing more in this than I did in the Atlas 6, which is great, because I was kind of like, I was going to continue the Atlas series, but outside of that, I was kind of scared to give Olivia Blake another try, and I'm happy I did, because this book has been really good. Obviously, I still have half of it left, but so far it's been really good, and I've been really enjoying it. I don't think my update tomorrow will be me finishing this book, but I'll definitely be farther tomorrow when I come back to update. I'm blinding both of us again. All of us, I guess. I don't know how many people are going to watch this, but I'm going to keep it down there, because the sun likes to blind people and reflect. My skin is reflecting too. I just put on moisturizer, so that's why it's so hydrated and shiny. I'm rambling again, so we're going to end this clip before I just keep telling you things that nobody cares about. So bye. I'm annoyed with myself because I started filming this update, and for that like the iPhone doesn't pause when you pause your music when you start recording anymore, which is annoying. But I said something about sitting here and watching it snow while I sit here filming this update, except I can't really see it snow because I'm staring at the fucking sky, and that like it shouldn't be surprising that it's snowing. I'm sorry that I swore. I'm just so mad about the music not stopping when I started to record, because like all you heard was the music blaring, and that was annoying. But I was basically saying that I finished One for My Enemy while I was at work, because I only had like 10 pages left when I went to go to work, so like I didn't have a lot left. But yeah, we're through. This is my 4th book of the year. I wasn't planning to read this many books this quickly. I was planning for it to go a little slower, and like my goal was just to read daily, and then I'm in the mood basically only to read. So this is book number 4 that I finished for the year, and number 2 for this vlog. I really don't have much to update, other than I continued to really enjoy it. I did really like the story. Definitely my favorite of the 2 Olivia Blakes I've read so far. Yeah, I just ended up really loving the story. I found these characters really interesting. I did find the way it was told, it was kind of hard to get too attached to any of the characters, so I wasn't overly upset with how it ended. Though there was like a bittersweetness to how it ends, and like all of that. It was just, yeah, it was really good. I think it was a really interesting Romeo and Juliet inspired story. I liked how the fantastical elements were introduced. I enjoyed the plot it followed. I liked how this story particularly uses the dynamic of like rivaling families and stuff. Yeah, I just really enjoyed this book. And like there were aspects of it I honestly thought were like kind of like, it made me think like I was reading, you know, obviously something inspired by Shakespeare. Like in the last act there was something one of the characters was doing to another character that I'm like, this would happen in a Shakespeare play. If it hasn't happened in a Shakespeare play, it would happen. I just don't really want to say what it is because it happens so late in the book, but yeah, this was just such an enjoyable book to read. Obviously, that's why I flew through it. The other update I want to give, just because, like, I don't know, I feel like saying that I'm reading it, because I am going to count on a book as a book personally, but I won't be able to, like, mark it on Storygraph or anything, but I was reading it last night, so I thought to mention it. I am reading through a fan fiction called All the Young Dudes, which is, like, 50,000 words, and it's, like, an extremely popular Marauders fiction. If you're familiar with, like, the Marauders fandom at all, it's, like, a really long Wolfstar, mostly canon compliant, or pretty much canon compliant fanfic that, like, starts from, like, their first year of Hogwarts and then ends in, trying to look so I can tell you. I don't remember the exact year it ends, but, like, I don't want to just, like, I guess spoil a Harry Potter plot point for you if you, for some reason, don't already know what happens by just saying, like, what happens. But it basically ends in the summer of 95. So it goes from 1971 to 1995. So it's a very long, like, it covers a long span of time, too. And I remember, like, one of the tags being, like, it's super slow burn. Like, it takes a while for Remus and Sirius to actually, like, be together. And I'm just into, like, the second year. The chapter I'm on is Christmas with the Potters, and I just have it on my Kindle, and that's how I'm reading it, because this is how I think I'm gonna get through it. Like, this is a fic where it's, like, I want to read it, but I also kind of just want to jump to other fics, but, like, a lot of people are like, you should start here. Like, if you want to read more artist fanfiction, you just should start with All the Young Dudes. So I'm like, I'll read it because I'm being told that's what I should do, and it's such a popular fanfic that I feel like I should read it. But I think having it on my Kindle is going to be the only way I can get through it. I don't think I could sit on my phone and read through it on AO3 otherwise. So that's going to be slow progress that I make throughout the next probably couple of months, unless I get really into a mood for it at some point and just fly through it. But I imagine I probably won't be done with it till, like, March or April. So that's being read along with all of these other books I'm reading. But I also wanted to show my Kindle, the back of my Kindle, because I realized I never showed how I decorated it. I think it's cute. Do not tell me if you don't think it's cute. But I have, like, obviously I have, like, 4 Pokemon stickers on it. It says Pokemon, and then this is Chaewon from Le Seraphim. If you know anything about K-pop, you probably know who she is. If you know nothing about K-pop, you probably don't give a shit who she is. So, yeah. But I finally got my hold for the Teach the Torches to Burn, so that I could finally see, like, how much I read in a day. I know it doesn't look like a lot to a lot of people. Like, there are probably some people who would see this and be like, I do that all the time. That's so easy to read in a day. But I don't normally read this much in a day. Like, I'm shocked that I read this whole book in a day. But it was really good, so I'm happy that I could, like, I don't know, physically see what I read, because I've seen people say it, and I agree, a Kindle book is this big. Like, it's impossible to know how big a Kindle book actually is, because your comparison is how big your Kindle is. So yeah. That's pretty much all for this update. I'm basically just, when I end this vlog, I'm gonna go do some cleaning around the house, and maybe do some crocheting, and then tonight I'll probably start reading a little bit of Romeo and or Juliet, and if I don't read this, I'll probably just read All the Young Dudes. We'll see. But yeah, I will update you when I make progress on this, and hopefully that's all, and it's not me doing a bunch of updates, because there's a good chance I might not update this weekend. We'll see if I update this weekend. But if I don't update this weekend, I might be on to the next book by the time I update you guys, and I apologize if that's what happens. I'm gonna go now because I just want to go get the cleaning done with. The curse of being a mood reader hit basically immediately after I finished filming that last clip, so I have a lot to update you on, and I'm gonna try to do it pretty quickly because I don't want this last update to be very long, because this vlog has gotten kind of on the long side. So starting with Romeo and Juliet, I did not read a lot of this. I read maybe 5 pages of this before I decided the writing was way too juvenile for me and I was not going to enjoy it. So I probably didn't even get 5 pages in. I just gave up. I was not going to enjoy the story, so I didn't want to spend my time on it. I did start Lady Macbeth, which was like the next kind of book I wanted to read, kind of continue the like Shakespeare stuff. I did not get very far, but I have enjoyed what I read, and I will keep reading this throughout this week. I just haven't been in the mood for it throughout the weekend. I got about 30 pages in, but yeah, I think I will enjoy this. I just obviously have a lot more to read. And then, honestly, I started the book that we should have all known this mood was going to lead to. And if you started this video guessing that it would lead to this for some reason, good job. You did it. You got it right. I started If We Were Villains by ML Rio. I am trying to annotate this. I, like, never feel like I annotate correctly, but I'm trying my best. I'm almost a fourth of the way through the book. I finished Act 1 this weekend. I read significantly slower when I annotate, but I also don't want to necessarily read this book quickly. I just want to enjoy it and just, like, annotate it and have a fun time reading it. But yeah, I started If We Were Villains. In terms of how my progress on The Burning God throughout the week, I got through like a chapter. I think I said I was at like 15% at the beginning of this vlog. I was at like 10 or 11, and now I'm at about 15%. Again, I want to read more of this throughout this coming week. I feel like I need to stop putting this off. I do want to finish the series. I've really been enjoying the series. I just need to read it. And then over the weekend, I started and finished a book. Well, I technically finished it this morning, but since I last updated you to now, I have finished another book. It's called Bad Habit. It's by Alana S. Portero. Sorry. It's about, like, it's like this literary fiction book, like queer book that's about, this transgender woman in Madrid, and it kind of just follows her throughout a good portion of her life and like the struggles she's gone through and like dealing with just being a trans woman, going up and being in the working poor in Madrid, and how she's dealt with and like lived with being in the closet and having times where she's tried to come out of the closet and not had the best of times. It was just a really interesting read that I, in a lot of ways, really related to. I just think it's a really, just such an interesting book. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely one of my favorite books I've read so far this year of the 5. Yeah, I just decided to pick them up on a whim watching a Jack Edwards video. Like, he mentioned it, and I was like, we're gonna read it. We're gonna see if it's on Libby. It was in on Libby, and I was like, we're gonna read it. If Jack Edwards thinks it sounds good, it must be good, even if he hasn't read it yet. And it was good. I did really enjoy it. And then I did start the nonfiction book I wanted to read that I got from libraries, and I think I said 10,000 words earlier in the video, in the vlog. It definitely is 1,000 words. I cannot read, but it's been really interesting so far. Again, I'm about a quarter of the way through it. I only just started it last night. But it is already giving me the motivation to write, and after I finish this vlog, I'm probably going to go write some, because I'm in the mood. This book put me in the mood to write. It very much, like, it kind of is the basis of the idea of trying to write and setting a goal of writing 1,000 words a day, and kind of just talking about how, like, no one's gonna push you to write. No one's gonna tell you to write. You just have to do it, and that is so correct. No one's gonna tell me to write a book. If I want to write a book, I need to just sit down and write the book. Like, you know? And yeah, I think I'm definitely going to probably finish this week. It's reading super quickly, and it's just really, like, it's giving me the motivation I need to start my draft of a book. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I think I talked too quickly, but I got through everything. I realized I did not give a synopsis for, like, If We Were Villains and Lady Macbeth. I don't feel like doing that in this vlog. I will do that in the next vlog, since most of me reading that will be in the next vlog. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say for now. This vlog has gotten longer than I wanted it to be, and I'm like I'm confined to my phone in terms of space and the length this can be. And yeah, so if you made it this far, for whatever reason, thank you for watching. To whoever watches this, I don't expect a lot of people are going to be checking out this video, but if you did click on this and watch this video, hi, thank you. I very much appreciate you. To the 12 people who are, like, subscribed to me currently for some reason, I totally understand if all of you just unsubscribed when I post this video and realizing, I don't know, that you don't like me, which is so valid. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. Bye bye. I'll see you next week in the next vlog. Bye.